Hey guys, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Gonna read through pretty much all of this article here. It's in regards to the recently murdered, the recently discovered Charlise Mutten, the 9-year-old girl that was murdered in Sydney, in the Blue Mountains area, we believe, and her stepfather has been charged. His name is Justin Stein. I've made a video in regards to Charlise Mutten's disappearance and subsequent discovery. There's some more details have been made public. The police have released a video as well, which I'll play it. I'll play parts of it. It's really, it just shows the ute which we believe belongs to Justin Stein, we believe allegedly, as well as the boat which has been pulled by the ute. A ute is a utility vehicle, and we're being informed that the video that we can have a quick look through, we're not going to watch all of it, but we're led to believe that Charlise Mutten's body would have been in the back of the boat within a barrel. The article also tells us that they now know that Charlise was murdered with a single shot. She was shot. Some psychopath, potentially the stepfather, potentially allegedly the suspect, the person that's being charged, Justin Stein, potentially allegedly shot a 9-year-old to death, his stepdaughter. So we're going to have a look through the article. Remember, take a mental break should these subjects bring you down a little bit. They do bring me down a little bit. In any case, harrowing footage has allegedly showed Charlise Mutten's accused killer driving across Sydney with the 9-year-old's body hidden in a barrel in the back under a tarpaulin sheet. Charlise's stepfather, Justin Stein, 31 years of age, was charged last week with murdering the schoolgirl at a luxurious estate property in Mount Wilson, northwest of Sydney. So in the Blue Mountains area, a fantastic, beautiful property which is used as a wedding venue. It's owned by the suspect's family, and could have been the site that Charlise was murdered. I don't think we know that at this point. Police alleged on Tuesday she died from a fatal gunshot wound and said detectives are looking for a firearm. He allegedly left her in a barrel on the banks of the Colo River, about an hour away from their very nice, well-to-do wedding venue property, after driving around Sydney for hours looking for somewhere to dump the body. Detectives have now interviewed her mother and are treating Charlise's mother as a potential witness. So as far as I understand, detectives were not able to interview the mother immediately because she's in a medical facility and she's claiming to be, well, I think the description was she's being difficult, whatever that means, but essentially she's being hysterical, perhaps even in a fake way, allegedly, perhaps, potentially, trying to avoid having to address the situation, but in any case, dumping her body. And we'll watch a couple of little bits of the video in a moment. One part of the video allegedly shows Stein's red Holden, Colorado ute pulling into a Marsden Park petrol station while towing a boat at 5:53 p.m. on Thursday, January the 13th. Now, if I recall correctly, Charlise was reported missing on the following day, Friday, January the 14th. If I remember correctly, I may have that wrong. So that's when she was reported missing, but clearly by that stage she was already murdered, potentially, allegedly, by the stepfather, Justin Stein, who was subsequently driving around Sydney with the little girl, the little 9-year-old girl, not Charlise Mutten's body in a barrel in the back of a boat, being towed by his ute. I mean, how disgusting! Just how disgusting! How I don't know what the word is, but just I'll say careless. It's not the right word, but just how despicably heartless of any individual to, I don't know, just to be involved in this in any way, but to literally murder a 9-year-old and then drive around the city trying to find a place to dump the body. What an absolute psychopath. At 7:17 the same evening, his car was allegedly filmed driving through Des Moines in the city's inner west. Police allege a CCTV camera filmed his red ute driving in the same suburb towards Five Dock 3 minutes later. So these are suburbs within Sydney, so central Sydney, and I believe he was arrested from an apartment in Surrey Hills, Surrey Hills is a suburb extremely close to the main CBD, Central Business District. These other suburbs, which are mentioned, within 20 minutes of the CBD, so they're very central, very busy areas. This is allegedly Justin Stein's Holden, Colorado ute, which was seized very quickly. If I remember the details, it was seized on the same day of the Charlise being reported as being missing. Police seized both the red Holden ute, Colorado. There it is again, pulling up. This is in another inner city suburb within Sydney. I mean, Sydney is a beautiful place, but I mean, it's pretty gringy and grimy and run down and too much traffic in a lot of areas. It's all a concrete jungle at the end of the day. But in any case, the police or the homicide investigators took over the case very quickly. They seized the Holden, Colorado ute as well as the boat, and they put both under forensic investigation. But seemingly, as soon as they have that, then they would have found Charlize's body in a barrel at the back of the boat. So they would have known on the same day. Maybe that was the following day, but I would have presumed that. Actually, I'm thinking incorrectly. When they seized the boat, the barrel was not there. The barrel had been discarded along the Colo River. So I think I just muddled my own thoughts. So back to the article. Here's Justin Stein, the accused. Here's the mother, Charlise Mutten. She has a checkered past. She was jailed, I believe, for 3 years following a DUI incident in which she killed her fellow passenger, who was her best friend. I believe I have that correct. Apologies if I don't. Back to the articles. Detectives released the footage that we watched a moment ago as they revealed the young girl's cause of death after an extensive post-mortem examination. Here's a quote from the New South Wales Police Detective Daniel Doherty. "I can also now reveal Charlise suffered a fatal gunshot wound, and that's how she died. We've been searching the Mount Wilson area and are now looking for a firearm." The detective added, "The fatal bullet appeared to have been fired from a small caliber gun." Police allege Charlise was killed between the night of Tuesday, January the 11th and Wednesday, January the 12th. Justin was alone with Charlise on the Tuesday night. We allege the murder happened on Tuesday night or the early hours of Wednesday morning. Detective Superintendent Doherty said police allege the blue plastic barrel came from the Mount Wilson property where Charlise was allegedly murdered. So I believe they're saying that Charlise was shot dead, murdered, at this multi-million-dollar, very prestigious property in Mount Wilson, a part of the Blue Mountains in Sydney. And then her body was, pardon, I don't wish to be crass, but her body would have been stuffed into a plastic barrel and then transported on the back of a boat. Whilst the alleged murderer drives around Sydney trying to find a place to dump her body. And I think we read a couple of days ago that he was likely trying to find a place to launch the boat. One of the suburbs mentioned is Five Dock. I am familiar with Five Dock, but I'm not that familiar. I would imagine there would be places to launch a boat in a place called Five Dock, would be my guess. Back to the article. On Friday, detectives pulled apart the rundown caravan where Charlise's mother, Charlise Mutten, was staying before her daughter was allegedly murdered. Detectives and forensic officers have swarmed over every inch of the white 1970s van and a nearby cabin in the grounds of the Riviera Ski Gardens at Lower Portland on the Hawkesbury River, around 80 kilometres northeast of Sydney. So seemingly the family went camping a few days prior to Charlise's murder, and the police have fully inspected that caravan and cabin. They spent hours meticulously searching the two locations and took away multiple bags of potential evidence for forensic analysis, while two men, apparently under police guard, sat motionless nearby watching on. Witnesses said the murder accused was behaving oddly during this trip, silently staring straight ahead. So yeah, it's just telling us that in the days leading up to Charlise's murder, she was seen with her stepfather, and the stepfather was acting in an odd way. And Charlise wasn't. Charlise was happy and engaging with people like a normal child. So we'll carry on with the article, please. So if I recall, the barrel was abandoned close to the Colo River. So the stepfather was at least somewhat familiar with this area, and arguably the mother too. The park has around 63 cabins, caravans and shacks on 10 hectares, with almost half a kilometre of river frontage. It is about 20 kilometres east of where police found Charlise Mutten's body, inside a barrel on the bank of the Colo River. Yeah. The elderly couple who owned the park were visibly upset by the police search. So the article is just telling us that a very thorough search of this cabin and a caravan took place because the family did spend some time on a short holiday break a few days before the death. So the detectives are looking for any evidence really, and they are also looking for a small caliber gun which they believe would have been used to murder Charlise Mutten. Here's the mother. She looks distraught, and she's pregnant currently with Justin Stein's baby, and she suffered a medical episode, whatever that was, we don't know. And it says here she's yet to give a formal police interview, but seemingly that has now occurred. Detectives have charged Justin Stein with murder, and he has been remanded to appear in custody in Penrith local court in March. So, no trial has taken place. We don't know that he's guilty, but, we can all come to our own conclusions. To me, the police release this information when they know it's right, and it seems to me that the police were on top of this situation very much immediately. They seized Justin Stein's Holden, Colorado ute the same day that Charlise was reported missing. I believe I have that right. They did forensic tests on that, and the boat, which they subsequently recovered, if I have that detail correct, they knew what was going on. They knew something very severe had occurred. There were hundreds of police and volunteers searching the property for several days. And, they found the body some distance away. I think it was 80 kilometers from the main property near the Colo River. And, that's all I've got to say, pretty much, other than, and maybe this is inappropriate, but I don't think it is. I think this is something which, it's not an original thought that I'm about to say, but it's an important one, and one that I think we have to keep at the forefront of our minds. What the fuck, pardon my French, what the fuck was this stupid fucking whore of a mother? I'm sorry. Why the fuck was she engaged? She was literally engaged to be married to this Justin Stein guy. Why? Like, what is wrong with women? Fuck me. I mean, it's these single mothers. I'm just getting annoyed because I'm reading through these articles of children being murdered. I'm just reading through a lot of articles every day, half a dozen articles, give or take, of children being murdered. And in almost all of the cases, there's a step-parent involved, and it's normally a stepfather, a boyfriend. What the fuck, women? If you're a single mother, okay, that's not ideal, but these things happen. Okay, fine. Choose your partner very carefully. Your partner is going to be in close proximity with your children. Your partner is going to be in a position to cause physical or mental sexual harm to your child, woman. Even if this mother is innocent, I fucking hate the bitch. Seriously, if I was left in a room with this woman, even if she's completely innocent, and I don't know whether she is or not. There's every chance that she isn't innocent. There's every chance that she had some level of involvement. We don't know why the stepfather took it upon himself to murder his 9-year-old stepdaughter. We don't know why. I mean, it seems from some of the witness reports, we've only read through one or two very brief statements saying that she was playing with some other children a few days before her murder. There were other witnesses saying that she saw her being nice and happy and talkative. So she seemed like a happy child, which tells me, and I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, which tells me that she wasn't suffering from ongoing abuse, would be my guess. I don't know. Could be entirely wrong, but that would be my guess, my speculation. So where did this murder come from? Why? Like, out of the blue? For what? I don't know. This has been one of those cases which, I don't know, it's more touching, it's more engrossing than some of the others. I mean, all of these stories are tragic, but perhaps because of the level of information are reported when she was missing, and it didn't look good immediately. And even in the initial articles reporting her as a missing child, if you read between the lines, it looked an incredibly grave situation. There were hundreds of police officers and volunteers searching for her. She had been, even if she were alive, she would have been in the wilderness for several days, 5 days. She was found dead on the 6th day since being reported missing. It wasn't looking good right from the start. I've probably rambled a little bit too much there, so I will carry on updating if there's significant updates in regards to this case. I will do reports on them. If it's just minor details, I probably won't. There's no need to be overly salacious about these topics. Hopefully I am being duly respectful. I mean, prayers, of course, to Charlise. We can't really say prayers to her family. I guess we can say prayers to her extended family. But what an absolutely sickening, tragic loss